What's the most out-of-touch thing a rich person has said to you?
Before we continue with the video, please hit a subscribe, likes, and comments to make sure you don't miss our next video.
Number 25. This table just doesn't fit in my new house. Hey, you should buy it from me. I'll give you a deal, half off what I paid for it, so just $25,000. What do you say, a real deal, right?
Number 24. Met a girl while volunteering and traveling in Africa. We were walking down the street, and a beggar asked for money, and she scowled and said, "It's so rude that they just assume we have money." Well, you're a white woman wearing Chanel sunglasses, Chanel handbag, and nice clothes. It's just Chanel. It doesn't mean I'm rich. Spoiler alert, super rich.
Number 23. At church on a Sunday morning, said goodbye to friends early as I had to get to my retail job. Clucking her tongue at me, the preacher's daughter said, "Working on a Sunday, that's not very Christian." As I left, I heard her say, "Ooh, girls, shall we go shopping?"
Number 22. Being broke is just a state of mind. My boss was born into a multi-generation millionaire family. He owns dozens of rental homes and commercial spaces in SF, Oakland, NYC, Hawaii, France, Italy. He has literally never had a job a day in his life. I am about to get evicted because my dog needed emergency surgery, and these were his words of wisdom. Being broke is just a state of mind. Even a homeless person can be rich in their mind. Yes, that's called delusion.
Number 21. Nice bowl. My dog eats out of one just like it. My boss walking in on me slurping ramen from a shitty plastic bowl. Bro wasn't even the slightest bit embarrassed. He let his intrusive thoughts win, but to be honest, that's funny as hell.
Number 20. That money can't buy happiness. Give me $100 million and we'll see how happy I'll be for the rest of my life.
Number 19. Not me but a mate. His friend was going sailing on a boat in the Whitsunday Islands in Australia. It's only a 30-foot yacht, there's not really much space to move around. Bro.
Number 18. Christmas presents are for poor people. When I want something I just buy it, like my new Porsche Cayenne. He is a close friend, but damn, sometimes he is so out of touch with reality.
Number 17. I was searching for a new apartment and struggling to find a spot in my price range. My boss asked me why I wasn't buying a house. Damn, I don't know why I never thought of that. This whole time I've been paying rent, just waiting for someone to suggest I should buy a house.
Number 16. You've never been to Paris? Also, this is what this girl's father said after I commented on Albert Camus, The Stranger, on his bookshelf. Well, have you read it in French?
Number 15. I was raised mostly lower class, lower middle class in Texas. In college, I worked at a residential treatment center for children. This was a place the state would send mentally ill and emotionally disturbed children who had been removed from their parents' custody for reasons ranging from simple neglect to the most horrific abuse you can imagine. This is where I met my now husband. He also worked there while attending college. When we got engaged, I went to meet and visit his parents in a northern state. They had a cabin at a very elite summer club. Essentially, there were 36 cabins. You owned the cabin, but not the land it sat on. There was a dining room, golf course, tennis courts, fishing and shooting on the property. You had to be voted in unanimously in order to become a member of this club. So we went to the cabin for a week, and part of the deal was attending cocktail parties. Not anything I'd ever experienced, so I just stuck to my fiancé's side and smiled and nodded a lot. We were talking with a woman who was friends with my in-laws, and she wanted to know what we did in Texas. So we told her we worked with these children. Her reply: I just don't understand how you could want to spend your time helping someone like that. Needless to say, both my fiancé and I were speechless and had no reply we could have spoken to this woman. His parents, while fairly well off, were generous, kind people who went out of their way to help others. So it was one of those. "Oh, look! There's Sally! We've been meaning to catch up with her. Please excuse us," said quickly while moving away equally as quick. What's weird is this woman was raised solidly middle class and just married someone from a wealthy family who became wealthy himself. He has the club's biggest lek and all the waitresses, yes, only female serving staff, knew to keep away from him.
Number 14. I was venting to a schoolmate about not being able to have a car. She said, "Why don't you just ask your mom?" It literally broke my brain. Like, yeah, why didn't I think of that?
Number 13. You've never been to Disney? Did your parents not love you or something? My parents were raising 3 kids working 2 jobs on poverty wages.
Number 12. I dated a rich guy who loved my authenticity, and he would pick me up in one of his dad's cool collector cars and take me to record stores. When I went to visit him, I showed up in my grandpa's old Ford F-150 truck. He asked me why I drove around in that thing. I shrugged and said, "Because I'm poor." And he said, "No, you're not." It was like I ruined his whole hipster aesthetic, and he realized I wasn't grunge.
Yeah, I wore flannel from the thrift store 'cause it was cheap, not 'cause I was making a fashion statement.
Number 11. Where did you go for summer vacation? Everyone has been to Disneyland. It's not even that expensive. Laughing. OMG, you guys, can you believe Candace has never even been to a beach or seen the ocean? Yeah, I guess straight A's aren't everything. You can tell me about the animals in the ocean all you want, but you've never even seen it. How could you know anything? Chick, did you go to that concert last night? Me, no, I couldn't afford it. Chick, I don't understand. Me, I know you don't, honey.
Number 10. It's super easy to become a millionaire. Anyone can do it, but everyone is just lazy. From my uncle, who doesn't have a college degree and got everything handed to him from his dad, and had a ton of luck as well. He's not even a millionaire either. Him and my aunt are just very wealthy. It took everything I had to not say, "Well, why aren't you a millionaire?"
Number 9. There's some truth to this. I was looking at Facebook garage sale and I saw a Lego set that was $500 brand new, before it was discontinued. This person was selling it for $270. Ridiculously cheap for what it is. But about $200 more than I could manage. It's crap when something is too expensive for you. It's a horrible feeling when someone is cheap, but still outside your budget.
Number 8. Had some kid in his early 20s start working at the restaurant I was at. Total trust fund baby, but his parents made him get a job or they would cut him off. Phone, car, apartment, school, credit card, everything. We were talking about plans for the summer. I mentioned I was gonna take a weekend to head north and visit my mom. Someone else was going camping. Another guy was taking a long weekend to help his brother move. Holy f***. You guys have no idea what vacation means, do you? I'm taking my GF to Spain for 2 weeks and then spending a few days in Italy before we come back. He got real upset when I asked him where he was gonna work when he came back. Apparently, he didn't understand that taking 3 weeks vacation not even 2 months into a job isn't a thing, especially when part of that was during our busiest season of the year. Even better when we all looked at him and told him we couldn't even afford a week off, let alone in Spain. He didn't last long.
Number 7. My boss's wife grew up wealthy and then married an heir to the throne for a multi-million-dollar organization. She is meandering around our office bullpen one day and brings me into the conversation. How about you? Where would you take your lady on a honeymoon? Me, I dunno, go to the coast for a week and just enjoy the sun. She laughed out loud at me and said, "Oh my God, no woman will ever marry you unless you're going to take her on a Hawaiian honeymoon." At the time, I made $10 an hour.
Number 6. One of my former coworkers grew up in a wealthy family and married into more wealth, but they decided she should work anyway. She was outside her car crying one day, waiting for her husband to pick her up, saying she couldn't drive her car because a light was on. My buddy looked. It was a low tire pressure light. He asked if she wanted help filling up the tire. Her sobbing response: "This is a Mercedes. You can't just put air in the tire." Edit. To everyone wondering why she would cry about a tire pressure light, I think that was the second time the light came on in 3 months, so she didn't think it was safe or reliable anymore and traded it in soon after. I believe the next one was a Lexus. She was also very much the type of person who would cry because she had to wait 30 minutes to get picked up while everyone else could go home.
Number 5. I was working at a car dealership and saw the owner pull up in a $250,000 Porsche GT3. Told him how much I loved the car and dreamt of owning one someday. The owner looked at me confused and said, "What do you mean? We sell them right here, you know." Totally blew my mind that he didn't realize his employees couldn't afford the cars they were selling. Owner is obviously a salesman at heart.
Number 4. In college, I made most of my money cleaning and tutoring for rich families. Here are the highlights. It's so much more convenient to have a sauna in your house. We ordered our wallpaper from Europe. It's the only way to go. I just bought the empty lot next to ours, so we won't have neighbors. And my personal favorite, rich person's kid. Gosh, I can't find any babysitting jobs. They've been taken by the 1%. Rich parent, honey, you are the 1%.
Number 3. I have no hair on my body. You should have your husband take you to get laser hair removal. It only cost me $10,000, maybe in my dreams. She was the mayor's daughter, and I was catering her dog's birthday party.
Number 2. Isn't it funny we are the same age, but my dad bought me a condo, and you have to work 2 jobs? Bro, how did you not flip your shit that?
Number 1. Long ago, when I was a server in a country club, I was very new to properly opening wine bottles, as I was using my key to take off the foil and gash the webbing on my hand badly. Husband and wife at the table. I put down the bottle and was about to leave when he said, "Who told you to stop pouring?" I picked it up and poured the wine, dribbling blood all over the white tablecloth. Went outside, had a smoke, and thought about my life.
Thank you for watching. If you like to watch more of these videos, please leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share to your friends and family. I'll see you in the next video.